Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, and that is Connor, and we are going to talk about the week's TV news because stuff happened. And honestly, we're in this really weird phase right now where it feels like every week we're getting like 4 or 5 new pilot orders or like straight to series orders. Like I feel like I'm describing a bunch of new shows every week.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not the normal time of year for that either.
Well, I think it is. I think we just confuse it with. I think we do a lot of these again come like
Official pilot orders for
yeah,
networks.
yeah, which is like February,
February time,
March.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I always thought this kind of period hit more end of October, November time.
maybe.
Whereas now it feels like August, September.
I don't know, we're not super far off from that.
No, but I don't know. It just feels a little bit early to me.
I don't know. I feel like it's not been that long since we were talking about TCAs and what was actually going to series and like dates and all. Like, I feel like you do the same sort of batch of shows a couple of times because the next time we do it will be when they're actually ordering things, and then we'll do it again when we get trailers for stuff from the the actual pilot season where they release the cut down 5 minute pilot trailer things
Yeah.
that we always talk about spoiling far too much because they essentially recap the entire first episode. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So there is new shows to talk about in this week's news. But before we get to that, I've got a couple of things I just want to get out of the way quickly. Not shows that we've been watching, but there's a couple of cancellations.
Oh,
First up, I'm happy about this one because we watched the first episode of this and it was awful. And that is Amazon is cancelling Hand of God after its second season. The second season's not actually went up yet, but that's coming next year. But
oh Jesus. They're really positive about that then.
they're announcing it now. Well, you say that, but the other one I've got is Netflix are cancelling Bloodlines after season 3, which has not happened yet. Because part of what they were doing is the creators were talking about how, oh, we know we're ending now, so we're going to actually write it as an ending. So, honestly, if that's the way at least Netflix are going to look at this, where they're always going to announce it a season in advance, so the creators can actually put an end to the story, then I'm all for that. That's good. That's great.
I get that, yeah. But I don't know, with Hand of God it feels more like people aren't watching it enough after the initial. So
But
they got people to watch it first.
yeah, but why even make season 2? We're so far away from when it'll go up. Like they've not even shot it yet. I don't think.
Are they not? I thought it was sooner than that.
No, I just said it's coming in 2017.
Ah,
And
fair enough.
given the way these schedules for these shows tend to be a bit closer to the actual dates than compared to movies,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't even have shot it yet.
Fair enough then.
Um, so if that's a trend with these original content streaming services to always give the creators the season to wrap things up, then that's good because you don't want to be in situations where you're got cliffhangers and they thought they were getting another season but they're not, and
Yeah, it's often not too much of an issue with network TV because you kind of oftentimes you know early enough. Because obviously you write the season as it goes on, like while it's airing. So probably about half the time they know that they're cancelled rather than just waiting to find out. Like I said, it feels about half the
honestly,
time to me.
I'd have to stop and like research and if I agree with that half the time comment because I'm not sure it is, but at the same time I'm not ready to have a debate on it
No,
because
that's it. I
I
could be wrong. I said it feels like about half the time to me.
I,
Whereas obviously,
I feel like every year there's a bunch of shows in the bubble that don't know until after they've aired their finale, and then sometimes they get cancelled. Like
there is a bunch of shows on the bubble, but I feel like that is always about half as the ones that have already had results.
well, no, but that's half of all shows. Where I would say we're arguing that half of shows that get cancelled have a chance to end
Yeah, and,
properly.
and the shows on the bubble, about half get renewed and half get cancelled. So it kind of still works out.
Well, yeah, that's assuming they don't get on the bubble again next year and then get cancelled.
True.
They have to go through that every year usually because once on the bubble, you're always kind of on the bubble unless you magically start to take off, like something like Seinfeld, where it got bigger and badder and better,
That's true.
or Family Guy, which got cancelled twice and is now never leaving TV because Seth MacFarlane's going to rule us all.
I don't even care about that. I mean, people clearly watch it. I don't understand how it got cancelled when it has such popularity and always seems to have had.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't feel like I even knew what it was until it was in like season 4, season 5.
Oh, did you not?
So I think it was, yeah. There was probably like a core audience that was really into
Mm.
it, but I don't think it became the big thing it did until after it came back the second time.
But there was clearly enough to bring it back, which is still crazy.
Well, I believe it was DVD sales at least one of the times that prompted them to bring it back.
Yeah,
So it
that
showed that
makes
it had a
sense.
following after the fact, which maybe people started binging it and it made them money, and I don't know. Why are we talking about why Family Guy came back? this is
I don't
this
know.
is news for 2016, not news for 2008 or whatever it
Are
had
you
been.
sure? Are you pulling on me?
No, I'm not pulling at you, and that's an old reference. No one's going to get that reference.
No, they're not.
All right, so okay, one last thing before we go on to the actual new shows that have all been announced, and that is that Star Trek Discovery has been delayed.
Aye.
Star Trek Discovery was meant to launch this January 2017, but it is instead going to launch next May. And there was lots of paragraphs posted, with the official announcement saying, why. Let's make it the best it can be that we're all proud of. But the main bit that I noted in all this was mainly the special effects, the visual effects. Cramming all those into that short amount of time when we only start shooting in November. We want this to feel like a big thing. Want it to feel like an event, like it's big budget. Give us 5 extra months
Hey,
or four
it's a
extra
reason
months.
I can respect.
I'm cool with it. Honestly, though, the reason why I'm really cool with it is because it means it's more like summer content, and I'd rather have these extra shows in the summer when things are a bit quieter than packed on to the already really busy network season.
I get that. That said, I'm a little bit disappointed because I did want to check it out come January. I was looking forward to it. So, there's a little bit of disappointment that I have to wait, but
Well, yeah,
I understand.
but January also sees the return of Better Call Saul and iZombie. Like,
That's true.
we
I
have
forget about
things,
those.
we have things coming in February. I mean, Better Call Saul might be actually the start of February, but it's the same difference.
We got that The Expanse as well.
Yeah, we haven't watched the first season of that yet, but we'll do that over Christmas. It's something to do over those like few weeks where there's nothing on
Aye.
because it's Christmas. But we don't have lives, obviously, so we watch more TV.
What's this?
Yeah, lives. What?
Going out to see the outside world. I don't know what that is.
I can't mute people out there.
Exactly. It's horrible.
All right, let's start talking about some new shows. The first three of which are all from the same network,
Oh,
and that is SyFy.
okay.
Now you probably know one of these.
I know one. I know one of them.
Yeah, I'm leaving that till last. Because when I got this news, I read it in one big article, three different shows. This is from Variety. Most of my news tends to be from Variety, but occasionally Deadline and or TV Line will sneak in just a little bit and give me something extra. But yeah, so the first one is called The Machine, and it's based on a cult film that starred Katie Lotz, who's the White Canary, in case you're not familiar with that name. So obviously it can't be that old, but it's set in a world that is being transformed by the emergence of artificial intelligence and explores the epic conflict between man and technology through the lives and motivations of 6 interwoven characters, each of whom holds the key to humanity's victory or its destruction.
It actually sounds like it could work better as a TV show than a film.
It kind of does, especially if you've got 6 characters who sound like they maybe interact occasionally, but they're not like always with each other. It sounds like they all have their own.
I feel like in a film of, let's say, 2.5 hours, 6 characters, at least 2 of them are going to get the shaft.
And even then, 2.5 hours is quite long.
Exactly.
Like you're overshooting that. I would say on average you're talking 2 hours, and
I'm being generous
Yeah.
given the fact that it's 6 characters, like as main things.
yeah. Whereas with this say it's ideally like they would order. It's probably gonna be 10 episodes, I imagine. I mean,
10 or 13.
it's
yeah.
a pilot order. It's not a series order. These are all pilot orders. I should mention that. So they might not actually happen, on TV, and we'll see a whole season, but they're going to make a pilot. Yeah, I'd imagine 10 to 13 episodes. That's enough time to explore everyone, and hopefully it's good. It sounds good. Like I'm at least in terms of plot, I'm into it.
It's a decent premise. like I said, I think it can work on TV better than film.
And it's
So,
it's
sure.
funny. Only 2 or 3 years ago, I would have joked that SyFy hadn't made any science fiction programs in quite a while, but it feels like recently they're really starting to pump stuff out.
They're
So
they're really making an effort to live up to their name.
they are, and for a long time they hadn't been. For a long time, it was the Sharknado channel
It
with
was.
repeats of whatever crap that had already aired 10 years ago. All right, so that's the first one. That's The Machine. The second one is called The Haunted, and it is a supernatural horror drama that follows four siblings who reunite after their parents' deaths. As they try to overcome their fractured personal relationships, they learned that they must also face the actual ghost from their past in order to survive. So,
A little bit less sold on it.
it's a bit more vague, but at the same time, I'm okay with them also doing horror shows.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of cool with this idea. How it'll actually play episode to episode, you know, I'm almost more just worried because it sounds like they want to do a bit of a family drama out of it. But maybe they're going to go the route that their parents were cultists or something, worshipped a witch, or I don't know.
I get it. The thing is, if you think back, just recently, Winona Earp, you could have given that a similar sort of premise of like family drama stuff.
True.
I mean, if you wanted to spin it that way as a premise, you could. So maybe it won't be quite as that as it seems.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds okay though. It's got potential. I think both of those have potential. Alright, so the third one that SyFy is developing, again it's a pilot, is Happy with an exclamation mark. And it's based on, well, this article said graphic novel, but I am going to
Oh,
correct it and say it's based on the comic book of the same name, written by Grant Morrison, who's very hit and miss with me. Connor likes him a bit more than I do, but he's known for having very abstract, shall we say, stories.
it's putting it lightly, but yeah.
Yeah. As you say, you feel like you've been on a bit of an acid trip sometimes when you read some of his stories. So, yeah, so he and also Brian Taylor, who also worked in the comic book, they're going to executive produce and write the pilot for the episode. Um, so, yeah. Oh, sorry, no, Brian Taylor didn't work in the comic book, sorry. Uh, Brian Taylor's the director. Sorry. I misread that. Ignore my rambles. But yeah, so it follows Nick Sachs, who's an intoxicated and corrupt ex-cop turned into a man who's adrift in the world of casual murder, soulless sex, and betrayal. After a hit gone wrong, he is inebriated. His inebriated life is changed forever by a tiny, relentlessly positive, imaginary, blue, winged horse.
It's good.
So he's a down and out hitman who is a loser, and then he starts imagining a blue winged horse, which apparently turns his life
Oh, no, no,
around.
no, no.
What?
He doesn't imagine it. It's not his imagine. It's someone else's imaginary friend that comes to him. So he doesn't start imagining the horse. Someone else has imagined it, and it comes to him.
Well, fair enough, but that description didn't tell me that.
No, no, I'm telling you that.
Well, spoilers, thanks.
It's not spoilers. That's the premise. Still, it's not his horse.
How could someone else's imaginary horse? No, you know what? Never mind. Don't explain it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's a very good comic. It's only 4 issues, or one book essentially.
I love how you sound annoyed that I don't know that. I've clearly
Not
never read
annoyed.
it.
I'm not annoyed, you know. I'm just telling you.
Oh dear. Oh great. There's a moth in my room.
Oh, I've been there
Yeah, you have.
recently on camera.
Right, I'm going to. Yeah, check out the comics podcast from like 2 weeks ago if you want to see Connor killing a moth live on air.
Attempting to.
Yeah, so that's Happy from Grant Morrison's comic. Sure. I don't know. Oh,
It's one of his less abstract comics. I mean, I know it sounds a little bit out there, but honestly, compared to some of his other stuff, it's quite toned down.
I'm game to try all three of these. I'm probably interested in The Machine the most, but I think they all have potential.
Yeah,
So
like I said, it's surprisingly decent slate from SyFy. If this is what's coming up, like if this is like the idea of what we can expect of their next year season.
aye.
Not bad.
Aye. I don't know where they'll slot these in, but I'm sure they'll find out when some of them get picked up. Uh, Obviously, with three of them, I mean, I expect that one of them might not happen. It's probably a reasonable expectation that one of them might get dropped.
Yeah.
But no, so that's three sci-fi pilots that have been ordered. So next up, we have a pilot order from ABC, which is coming from Chuck co-creator Chris Feddick. It's called Deception, and wait for this. It is a magic-themed drama. Yeah.
Okay.
Deception tells the tale of a superstar magician whose career is plagued by scandal. In an effort to keep practicing the arts of deception, illusion, and influence, he teams with the FBI to become the world's first consulting illusionist.
That sounds so not what I was expecting when you said magic themed drama.
Do you know what the thing is?
I was expecting fantasy magic, not magician magic.
Do you know what? That's pretty out there, but at the same time, it falls into not with ABC's. Who's been doing it? It's Fox and a little bit of NBC, because NBC have done it with Blind Spot. We're going to have a buddy cop show where one half of the buddy cop is something weird.
Yeah, there's a gimmick.
Yeah, Blind Spot. She's got amnesia, but she's got all these tattoos with like hints to her past. Lucifer, one of them's Satan.
Yeah, Fox, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, one of them's from the past and is like a hunter of, Ichabod Crane, or he is Ichabod Crane. Whatever one's Ichabod Crane. I can't remember the legend that well, or the story that well. And Almost Human a couple of years ago was
a robot.
One of them's a robot. Like, this is a thing that TV's been doing, especially Fox, but still, it's been bleeding out into the other networks. Now ABC's trying their hand at it. Will it be good? I don't know. I have not stuck with any of those shows. And ironically, the only one I wanted to stick with was the one that got cancelled.
I stuck with Sleepy Hollow for a season and a half, and then they cut off the showrunner and intentionally made it more procedural, and I decided I'm out.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty serialized up to that point. It was very good, that first season and a half. And then they kind of finished the plot. And then they were like, well, we don't really know what to do. So the network told them to go procedural.
I liked Almost Human. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. I fell behind. I wanted to catch up. And then it got cancelled. And I was like, well, what's the point? was basically my attitude with that. Which is a shame, because it had potential. But hey, so that's coming from ABC. That's called Deception. Right, next up. Where are we? Okay, this one's Untitled. Right, so the Untitled drama, which is coming from a very weird combination. Director McGee, which doesn't exactly, fill me with super confidence.
It really doesn't, does it?
However, the co-writer of both Up in the Air and X-Men First Class, Sheldon Turner's involved, and obviously those are, reasonable movies. So they're working on, get this, it's a buddy cop drama with a twist.
Well, what's the one of them? I can't even guess based on the title for this one.
Because it's untitled.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a guess though? Do you want to just throw me a guess? What's one of the cops got?
What network's this on?
It doesn't say.
So
no, it didn't. It said Fox. Did it say Fox? It has, yeah, Fox. Sorry.
Fox, okay.
It was in a really weird part of the. Sorry, guys, if you wonder why I'm holding this, it's because the moth's flying around.
You're waiting for it to swing past and smack it.
And I'm waiting for it to fly by so I can hit it. Just in case I look like a maniac holding random kitchen roll.
One of them has the power to stop time.
No.
I really don't know. It could be anything, let's be honest.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. It ties in to one of the other shows we've already talked about.
One of them's a demon.
No.
I don't know then.
One of them is imaginary.
Yeah,
so it's about a cop from San Francisco. He's a detective, he's struggling with psychological trauma, and he conjures up an imaginary rogue partner who helps him get the job done.
Nope, 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 nope. So much nope. So sick of this trend.
Hey, you know what? One of these could end up being really good. There's nothing that says one of these can't be good. It's
You know
just
what?
that
None of the ones I've seen have even been bad. Like Lucifer was all right.
it was okay, but it just was like I don't really.
Yeah, but
I
it
didn't
wasn't
want to
bad.
keep watching it. Yeah,
No, but it certainly wasn't bad. Sleepy Hollow for a season and a half was very good.
Blind Spot was meh though.
Blind Spot was meh. All right, yeah. But what was the other one?
Almost Human.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that was pretty good.
Oh, Minority Report. That was another one.
Okay, does that? I didn't watch that.
Yeah, one of them can predict the future. That was that whole thing. But nah, there you go. It's an untitled thing where buddy cop show from Fox. One of them's got a gimmick. It's that he doesn't actually exist. There's your show. Alright, next up, Netflix has given a 10 episode series order to She's Got to Have It, which is a remake of Spike Lee's 1986 movie. Lee will direct all half-hour episodes. So, yeah, it's a full-on remake by the same person who did the movie. It centres on Nola Darling, a Brooklyn-based artist in her late 20s, struggling to define herself and divide her time amongst her friends, her job, and her three lovers. A cultured model, a protective investment banker, and the original b-boy sneakerhead. That's the wild one. She's got two sort of normal
Yeah,
regulars, and then she's got the original b-boy.
I'm not sure I have any interest in this whatsoever.
I have zero interest in this. Yes, I agree with that completely. I'm not particularly fond of Spike Lee. I mean, I've not seen a lot of his movies. Some of his bigger stuff I've not seen, but those that I have seen, I wasn't particularly fond of.
Not sure if I've
And
seen any of it.
honestly, whenever I see him in an interview, he just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like he's got a very aggressive personality that I'm not super fond of. So yeah, I mean, cool though. If you're into Spike Lee's work, then I'm sure this sounds interesting to you. But I'm not for it. So there you go. And last up on the news this week, Hulu has also ordered a 10 episode show. Actually, no, I do apologise. They have not ordered it yet. They are finalising the deal to order a 10 episode show. It's called The Looming Tower, and it is a drama based on a non fiction book chronicling the events that led to 9/11.
That's interesting.
Really, you think this is interesting? Because I read this and thought this seems kind of dry. I don't know if I'm into this.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, so it's based on a book by Lawrence Wright, and it's a non-fiction book that traces the rising threat of Osama bin Laden and the Al Qaeda, and takes a controversial look at how the rivalry between the CIA and the FBI inadvertently might have set the stage for the tragedy of 9/11 and the war in Iraq. I don't know. I mean, I get that it could be good, but for some reason, like this subject matter just feels really like, I don't know if I want to watch something about this. You know, it's kind of
Interests me.
depressing, and yeah, I don't know.
It interests me personally, but I don't know. I get it. I get why you could think you get enough of it in reality. You know, the news,
Well, it's
especially
kinda,
this time of year, you kind of hear about it all over again.
admittedly, it's this has been a good 10 years now, but back in 2006 when they did World Trade Center and United 93,
Yeah,
the two movies about 9/11. At the time, all I could think was, who wants to watch these right now? It's been 5 years. Come on, like, like I do not want to watch a movie about this at all in any way, shape, or form. And I don't feel as strongly as I did back then. I mean, it's been 15 years now, but I still kind of feel like I don't really, I don't, like I don't know where the line is. Like, when did it become okay to make films about World War Two? I don't know, because they were doing that pretty early on, I think.
and they were making comedies about it pretty early on as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where that is. But on the other hand, though, Germany didn't start making films about World War Two until quite a while, and like that took them a long time before they felt comfortable doing it.
Well, that's because they were the bad guys.
So what you're saying is when Al Qaeda start making films about 9/11,
that's when everyone's safe to do anything they want. Yeah.
but no, yeah, I don't know. it's a really serious subject, and I'm not sure maybe it would be good, but I don't know. The fact that it's also based on a non-fiction book, which I guess it has to be if it's about 9/11, to be fair. But like, I don't see this being fun, like 11/22/63, where it was taking a serious thing from history, but it was building time travel around it and stuff.
No, I definitely don't see it being fun. That would not be the word
Yeah, yeah.
I would think of. But I think it could be interesting. I think it could be good TV. I think it could be good to watch. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out maybe if they finalize the deal.
Yeah, if they pick it up, I'm sure it's something we'll at least watch the first episode of. Right now, my instinct tells me that I'll be kind of it's just kind of dry and serious.
Well, I think it could be, but like I said, for me, at least it's interesting as an idea, and I want to see it. But it doesn't mean it'll be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the news. So, I guess before we leave off the video, I shall tell you everything that you should look forward to in the coming week.
Okay. Prepare for another half hour.
It's not a bad warning, to be honest. But of course, we have the season finale of Mr. Robot coming this week.
Oh yes.
Looking forward to that. Also, we will have the second episode of Quarry, which is a show that started last week. That'll be get up over the weekend. But we've got the first full week of new shows. Now, first up, we have returning. We have Scream Queens and we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which are shows that we did full seasons of last year.
And both shows I'm excited for.
Both shows I'm excited for too. But we also have brand new shows coming. We have The Good Place from NBC. We have This Is Us from NBC. We have Designated Survivor from ABC. We have Lethal Weapon from Fox. We have Pitch from Fox. We have The Exorcist from Fox. We have MacGyver from CBS. Yeah, I'm being very neutral in all these to be professional, but I'm telling you right now.
I don't know. There was a certain one where your voice dropped a bit, where you were like, I don't want to say this.
But I'm just going to say it now. MacGyver, the chances of us continuing that after one episode are astronomical.
Whoa, that was weird.
God. I feel sick. Also, Van Helsing, which actually already had its first episode because that was early. They aired the first episode like a month and a half early because they're weird. But that's coming from SyFy. Episode 1 and 2 are both airing on the same night, so we will have episode 2 review up, but episode 1's already up, so you can check that out already. Plus new episodes of Son of Zorn and Atlantis, that's the other one we're doing. But yeah, so it's a busy week. Busy week. And of course, the other usual stuff on the channel.
Son of Zorn this week? I
Sorry?
I thought Son of Zorn was taking a week off.
No, it's this week it's taken off.
Yeah, so it'll be next week when there's an episode.
Next week, exactly.
No, but like after the next one of these will be the next Son of Zorn.
Oh, potato, it's next week.
Is it though?
Yes, it's next week. Sunday next week is still next week.
Sure, but it's not in this slate that you're talking about. I just wouldn't.
So you know what? Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you would like me to cap the week that when the next news episode will be.
Well, I just feel like if you're talking about next week at the end of every news episode, then it's got to be till the next news episode, not till the next news episode and a couple of days.
Oh,
where does it end? What's the line otherwise?
Where every week ends with Sunday. That's the line.
I can see your argument.
What have you been learning? What have you been learning since the first year of school?
That some people's weekends on a Friday. That's why it's called the weekend.
That has been this week's TV news, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. It helps us out a lot. Let us know what you thought of the news in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.